Hello folks, welcome back to the workshop. I'm sorry there hasn't been a video for a couple of weeks. There's been lots going on, but lots of smaller things that aren't particularly video worthy. And the things that are video worthy, like this big bench that I'm building, haven't reached the stage where I can make a full episode yet. So there's a little bit of a gap there. The major things that have happened are the bench. I'm just building the bench top, and that'll probably be an episode. This is my woodwork bench. It's super thick. It's going to be a lovely bench, and it's going to live basically there. It's going to have lots of storage underneath it for all my hand tools and also sort of woodworking power tools like routers and sanders. The reason I need to home those under here, as well as having them near the area they're going to be used, I've had to cut down the shelves in the back there, the wooden shelves. And the reason for cutting those down is I had the grinder arrive, the Babic grinder, and I want to put it together with my couple of bench grinders that I've got, and I want them as far away as possible from the machine tools. So the milling machine and the lathe, you know, abrasive dust is a killer for them. So the machines are as far over here as they can be, and the grinder as far over there as they can be. And that meant adjusting the shelves, moving stuff under here, and so that's what spurred this on to make this happen more quickly. And of course that's rippled on around the workshop. I've now got the drill press right here. The surface plate arrived, and I've put that on top of a set of new yellow drawers for now. I've got a sheet of rubber that's going to go on top of the surface plate as a cover. All my calipers and mics are in the yellow drawers, and my height gauges and all that kind of thing. Everything surface plate related is now with the surface plate, and that frees up quite a lot of the red drawers. And I've got all my cutters and things, drill bits, end mills, slot mills, are all going to go in the top of there in vertical stands, so for easy access. Speaking of end mills, I had a channel donation, a wonderful channel donation from John. John is his nickname. I think his name is Zvonimir Babic. Zvonimir Babic, I think. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. He's got a YouTube channel where he gets up to all sorts of stuff, and he's got a lovely big mill. Yeah, go and check him out. He's good. He's got some good stuff on there. I've only really recently found out about his channel. He found me through my channel, and he's got a whole back catalogue that I'm going to have a good look through. But he saw me in my workshop tour video saying, yeah, I've got a lifetime supply of HSS tools for the lathe, a little bit light on with end mills. And so he got in touch and said, I got tons of tooling with my mill. I could send you a little box with some end mills that you might be able to touch up on your Babic grinder. So thank you, John, much appreciated. And everybody watching, please go and check out John's channel and click on his subscribe button and have a look at what he's been working on. So yeah, that worked really well. I've got those end mills, they arrived the week after, and I've got the first couple of end mills from him I've actually sharpened already on the Babic grinder. Now I was just playing, and I assumed I would ruin those end mills. I was just trying to get a feel for the machine before I start making videos about it. But it went really smoothly. The first one took like 20 minutes to sharpen the ends, and the second one I did the same thing. Took like 5 minutes, start to finish. So I'm really pleased with how easy it is to drive and how easy it is to use. Now I did sharpen some of the helix parts. That is trickier. Excuse me. That is trickier, but it's possible, and I'm certainly going to use that feature. But I think it will change how I use end mills. Normally, I try to balance out the wear on on the end and the sides of the end mill, whereas I think I'm going to use the ends where possible with, freely, because they're just so easy to sharpen, and save the sides because they're a pain to sharpen. Anyway, that's just a gut feeling to start with. I'll just check my list. Yeah, so that's the major things. Bench is being built. I'm collecting footage of making this, and the video will be released in a few days. It's just taking way longer to get all these joints planed perfectly and clamped and glued. Really, it was a lot of planing, ripping, chopping to length, and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, it's in the glue up stage now, and basically a day or a day and a half of gluing up sections, and this will be ready for planing. The base of the bench is going to be steel. That'll be a separate episode. You may or may not be able to see a piece of 100 by 100 RHS or square section tube over there. That's what the legs are going to be. I know it's not traditional, but that's the way I'm making it. That'll be another episode, and then there'll be an episode, at least one episode, of filling in all of the base with drawers on drawer slides. I'd like to dovetail them. Don't know if I've got time to dovetail all those drawers. I've done dovetailed boxes and things before, but doing a set of drawers is quite a commitment. And there's 100 things to do already in here. So I may be making a box joint jig for the table saw. We'll see how that goes. That's down the track. But yeah, major things are bench, and there'll be 2 or 3 episodes on that. Grinder arrived, which I've mentioned. There'll be episodes on me learning how to use that. And the other major news was that surface plate that's arrived. It came with a stand with the proper 3-point support. At the moment it's on a couple of 2x4s on a toolbox. I'll improve that later, but I just had to get it off the floor here. So although it's probably quite usable, it could be improved. Its mounting on there could be improved. I've also been doing some smaller stuff in the last couple of weeks that's not particularly video worthy. Here's a picture of a throat plate that I made for my friend Graham. He's been making timber model boats, and he's bought a sort of tabletop style model maker's bandsaw, a Ryobi one, and the throat plate that came with it was no good. So this throat plate that you see in the photograph I made with hand tools, just for a laugh. Would have been very easy to make it on the mill, but I thought let's get some practice in with hacksaws and files and measuring and marking. And yeah, I spent way too long on it. I spent about 2 hours making that one part, but it was good fun. So that's good practice. I did a repair for the in-laws. They had an aircon unit that was squealing when it was running, and I had a suspicion it was bearings, motor bearings, and they had 2 options from the aircon guy: $600 for a new part, or they were being urged to buy a whole new unit in case any more of it went wrong, which was several $1,000s. So I pulled the unserviceable fan motor apart, put new bearings in, and on screen you can see a photograph of some modifications I made to one of my bearing pullers, a homemade one. The off-the-shelf bearing pullers that I've got wouldn't actually work with the clearances available, so I had to use my homemade one, and I made a new puller plate for it, and that worked nicely. And they've got basically new aircon again now, and that saved them hundreds of dollars, so that was great. I had to take some time to do some repairs on the car, which I try not to do normally. It had some leaks in the middle section of the exhaust, so I had that off, cleaned it up, made some formers for the press, made some mild steel patches and TIG welded them on, and that's good now. That's nice and quiet, and probably will buy me at least 6 months. Who knows how long the patch will last. It's only mild steel going onto a stainless exhaust, so it could be very temporary. I used a stainless filler rod, the one that's recommended for dissimilar materials. So, yep, that went well, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I've got episodes planned. I don't want to promise anything, but there's definitely footage of this bench being built. That's this bench top. That'll be coming out in a couple of days when I've finished up the glue up and the planing. There'll be multiple videos on the D-bit grinder, and yeah, then we'll go from there. See what happens. Okay, thank you everybody. Thanks for supporters, patrons, people that donate things, and anybody that views these videos, anybody that clicks like. Thank you very much. That's all helpful. See you in the next episode. Cheers.